An 11-year-old in Brownsville is an honor student that was put in solitary confinement after being bullied by his principal. What the f? So the principal bullies him and throws him in jail? How does that work? Where's the X? Am I stupid? Oh, there it is. It's on the left. Man, this is already an extremely sad story. Holy shit. Timothy's efforts to speak out and request counseling for himself at the start of his 5th grade school year at Palm Grove Elementary School led to what family calls retaliation by Palm Grove Elementary School principal Myrta Garza. On September 8th, school administrators told Timothy, who irked the principal with requests for counseling and for clarification on school dress code policies, that other students allegedly school dress code policies that another student alleged that he made threats against Garza. Timothy denied the allegation, but Garza called law enforcement, who detained him and placed him in solitary confinement for 3 days at the Darrell B. Hester Juvenile Detention Center in Brownsville. You can just detain an 11-year-old for 3 fucking days? In solitary? What? Cameron County prosecutors pushed for Class C felony charges of terroristic threat and argued for 2 more weeks of detention. Instead, Judge Adela ordered a safety risk evaluation and conditional home release until his hearing on November 8th. What? Juvenile justice experts interviewed by the Texas Observer say Brownsville Independent School District and police seem to have violated state laws, I would imagine. That sounds like a violation. And other rules in Timothy's case that are intended to protect such young children from excessive law enforcement actions. These include a law that requires a school to undergo a fact-based systemic threat assessment involving the parent to determine if the threat is an imminent threat, warranting a referral to a law enforcement, and a Texas Supreme Court order that prohibits the handcuffing and shackling of young children. State law allows a minor to be placed in solitary confinement for 24 hours. Staff at the detention center told Rinson her son was further isolated for COVID precautions. All because he was asking for counseling and clarification on the school dress code? What the fuck? Has this been on any other news outlet or just here and that's it? I have no idea. Someone in chat just mentioned it. But I mean, this is from the Texas Observer, which I imagine is reputable. Kid's pretty smart for asking for counseling at 11. Yeah, I would say so. But instead he got thrown in the fucking slammer. So after mentioning that the school needed to have a counselor, he said afterward he felt he was being picked on because Garza repeatedly admonished him. First for his haircut, and then for not wearing a school uniform, a rule that had not been enforced the prior year. There is no dress code policy posted on the school's website, and most photos show students not wearing uniforms. Timothy wrote 3 handwritten letters to Garza asking her to clarify if wearing the uniform was a school recommendation or policy. Garza never responded, but according to Timothy, would stand outside of his classroom or in the lunchroom to yell, "Uniform, Murray." What an evil lady. There would be kids behind me without uniforms, but they didn't get screamed at. She would tell me, "Where's your uniform? Otherwise, we're going to kick you out of ACE, after school program. Revoke your library privileges and revoke your lunch privileges." What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? How is she not being investigated? Well, maybe we're not through with the article. Maybe she is. What an evil piece of shit. Man, everyone has failed this kid. On September 3rd, Timothy sent a letter to Gutierrez. In the email Rinson shared with the Observer, Timothy writes that Garza is picking on me without addressing my letters. Timothy never received a response. Fucking everyone has failed this kid. His ordeal began 5 days later in the morning of September 8th. Timothy was pulled out of music class, ushered into a room where he found Garza, Assistant Principal Michelle, District Police Officer, and counselor sent from the District Administration Office. He was told another student had just reported Timothy said he was planning to kill the principal. Rinson said she was called and rushed to the school but was not allowed to be in the room with Timothy. When the police officer had his body cam off, they were yelling and telling me, we're gonna go to the full extent. We're gonna put you in the lockbox. Then, when the body cam was finally on, they were so nice. This is an infuriating story. Thanks to Resub Land. The membership wish. I don't know what my favorite quote would be, Alter. I'd have to really stop and think about it. Timothy told another student that his hair was messy because he was up all night to come up with a plan to kill Miss Garza. What the fuck? That wouldn't even make sense. Oh, sorry, my hair's all disheveled and shit because I was too busy planning to kill her. No one would say that. Ever. Literally ever. And then thrown in solitary for 3 days. Jesus Christ. These are Vernix. Does the school have security cameras? No way the staff in that school is not investigated after this incident. There might be more victims too. That's what I'm thinking. This probably isn't isolated to just this kid. He's probably the only one that got thrown in solitary confinement. But I'm sure there's been a lot of other fucked up shit that this principal has done. This entire school body needs to be investigated. Or not the school body, that would refer to the kids. Sorry. I meant the school board. I meant all the adults here that threw a child in solitary confinement. And the principal for targeting him. All because he asked for counseling. Sounds like the Matilda movie. I don't get why such an important occupation as a teacher has such low requirements and salary. That's something I said 1,000,000 times, man. I don't get it either. I think everyone can recognize that smart children are integral to a strong society in the future, and yet it's the only group that we actively try and make shittier. Either by discouraging good teachers by offering them low pay and putting them in bad positions, or feeding them the absolute worst shit ever that rots their brain. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I guess it's easier if you just make everyone like a drone. Yeah. If you turn everyone into a zombie that'll just consume, maybe that's more beneficial for businesses. I don't know. I couldn't really find a smart answer for it, but it is just really sad. That's what Corpo wants. Yeah, I guess that's probably the reason. I don't know. I don't know, Wish. There's been a lot. She's been taken to court, right? I didn't finish the last couple paragraphs where they were just kind of going over everything they did wrong here. And everything they violated, but I don't think she is. Here, we'll look at the conclusion. After the incident, Rinson transferred Timothy to another elementary school where his former principal, the one whom Garza replaced, and counselor Palm Grove Elementary now work. He says he can talk with them when he's facing problems. He resumed his old routines and is dealing with more familiar stress these days, worrying about his grades, preparing for extracurricular contests, like the upcoming Battle of the Books contest, and studying to test into the gifted and talented program next year. So it doesn't seem like she's being investigated, though she very much should be. ASAP. Thanks to the membership ransom. They have an apology post on the school's Facebook about the incident. You're telling me the fucking elementary school here, with this evil, repulsive scoundrel here of a principal, is posting their apology on Facebook. The apology should just be, she's being investigated. The authorities are here. Here's a picture of her being taken away in cuffs. Why the fuck is an elementary school making a goddamn, like, YouTuber apology? Just take action on it. Like, that's it. You don't need a Facebook apology. Just do something actionable. Where are you seeing it? I can't find their Facebook unless they just privated it, because I think this is it. And this, yeah. I think this is the one. I can't access it. Needs to be blazed. You think she'll go for the ukulele and modern dance routine? No, 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 no. She won't apologize. She can't apologize. If she does, she'll probably be immediately slapped with charges, so she's just going to try and ride behind the scenes. The authorities, like the cops, also need to be investigated because they very much broke the law by arresting a literal child and throwing him in solitary confinement for 3 days. As mentioned in this article, you can't do that. They don't want to take action because they think they're right on the matter. It's completely ridiculous. Yeah, you're probably right. They're probably just delusional. Yeah. He's a prime boy. Look at Waffle House training. They have something called the Magic System, and it's wild. I know all about the Waffle House system. It's not called Magic, is it? I thought it had a different acronym. Would you believe it if shit like this happens every day in schools? Absolutely. Well, I don't think every day kids are being thrown in solitary, but I'm sure every day there's very evil authorities in the school upper echelon that are doing awful shit. That I believe, yeah. Thanks, Cook. Control Andes. Yeah, it's probably about control. Having control over kids or some shit. Some kind of power trip, maybe? It's just downright evil. They posted about it on their Twitter, too. Why does an elementary school even have a fucking Twitter? What could they possibly benefit from having a fucking Twitter? Oh, this actually became quite a story on Twitter, apparently. Okay, here, let me see. Let me find their apology note, I suppose. A lot of people tag the level above them, the Brownsville, like, governing board for schools or whatever. I don't see anything from the school itself. I don't even see a Twitter from them. So are you talking about the Brownsville one? Yep, that's the one. This isn't the school itself. This is like the district board. But yeah, they did they did post this. Thanks to the membership. Nellies is taking proactive steps to address the recent concerns that have come to our attention. In response to a recent article about an incident with a Brownsville ISD student, we want to provide you with the following information. First and foremost, we extend our deepest condolences to those who have been affected by recent events. We understand that difficult situations can arise, and our thoughts are with all of those involved during this challenging time. Brownsville ISD acknowledges the challenges faced by individuals and their families as outlined in the recent reports. Please be aware that any legal matter related to this concern has been transferred to the appropriate authorities and is currently pending adjudication. Consequently, we are unable to comment further on the specifics of this case. Are the appropriate authorities the same one that locked an 11-year-old in solitary confinement for 3 days? Because if so, they have a glowing track record, and I'm excited to see justice being served per usual. The welfare and well-being of all members of our school community are of utmost importance to us. We take concerns related to safety and well-being seriously and are fully committed to providing a safe and supportive environment for everyone. Regarding concerns about access to counseling services, we want to assure you that the district is dedicated to providing support to those in need. If any changes have occurred in staffing or resources, we are actively working to ensure that appropriate support is available. Our commitment is to maintain fair and consistent policies and practices to ensure equitable treatment for all members of our school community. We are aware of recent developments within the district, and we remain dedicated to maintaining a positive learning environment. Rest assured that we are committed to transparency and accountability. We will conduct a comprehensive review of the situation and take any necessary action based on the findings of our ongoing investigation. We encourage open communication between the district, parents, and community. We appreciate your understanding and patience as we navigate this situation. Our commitment to the well-being of everyone in our educational community remains unwavering, and we will continue to work diligently to ensure a safe and supportive environment for all. Hey, I guess we'll see how the investigation goes. I'll tell you one thing, though. Let's just go ahead and play with a little fanfic. Let's assume, just for the sake of a little fun mental exercise, let's assume the reports are accurate here and the 11-year-old did tell a friend, man, I want to kill the principal. Let's assume that happened. Just play with it. Suspend disbelief. The proper response to that is not to throw that 11-year-old in solitary confinement. All that's going to do is make a problem much worse with a disturbed individual. You have now ensured that this person is fucked in the head. 100%. That is still, no matter what the case was, the wrong way of handling everything. It is an indefensible position to have taken. They fucked it all up entirely. That's what I would think, Doug. That was kind of what my thought on that was. Did they also mention in the article that the judge involved is also related to the principal? Wait, what? I don't know where you saw that. But that would be an interesting connection, I suppose. What about the police, though? There has to be a connection there, because I can't imagine the police are super gung-ho about throwing an 11-year-old in jail, knowing full well that it's illegal to do that. And he even said right here, when the police officer had his body cam off, they were yelling and telling me we're going to go to the full extent, put you in the lockbox. And then he turns the body cam on and they were nice. Are you allowed to turn your body cam off? Is that not a big no-no? I don't know what the rules are around the body cam, so if you're asking the wrong person, I have no idea. The name of the judge is Adela Kowalski-Garza and is related to the principal through her husband. Where was that part in here again? The judge, Adela Kowalski-Garza, ordered a safety risk evaluation and conditional release that allows him to attend school and remain at home until his hearing on November 8th. So it doesn't seem like she necessarily ruled in favor of the principal here in her actions. But maybe because she legally could not. That is still quite a conflict, though. But yeah, you're right. God, that is still so crazy. The 11-year-old is facing a fucking third-degree felony. All because the principal got upset that the kid was asking for counseling. I have not seen it, Jason. I don't know if I will or not. Maybe. Man, what an infuriating story. Jesus Christ. That is sick. Have you heard of Glorb? You talking about the Twitter chat GPT? That's what is it? No, it's not. That's not it. It's not called Glorb. It's called like Glock or something. No, Glorb is the AI rapper. Ah, gotcha. No, I'm not too familiar. Have you seen the insurance scam? People who literally jump in front of moving cars and nearly die just to scam people? Well, that's as old as time, man. Yeah, that one, I've known about that for years and years and years. That is an ancient scam. Thanks, Arisa Bacchus. The good old Saul Goodman. Yeah, but with like really awful actors. Almost all of those insurance scams are so bad. Like, it is like the least effort imaginable. Let's see if there's any I recognize off just the thumbnail. Actually, I don't recognize any of these from the thumbnail. Let me see this one. Well, no. Yeah, let's just do this one. Let me see.
What's up,
That one
guys?
was pretty
Welcome back
cool.
to the brand new video, and today, as you can already tell, we're gonna be watching some insurance scammers who got caught in 4K trying so hard to replace Will Smith at the Oscars with their amazing acting skills, of course. So yeah, with that plan doesn't work out, and then just lay beside it. Not gonna lie, he always got it. He played ground out to damage it. He plays your what this genius is up to. Oh, what a great idea! I would have thought. First, you place your motorcycle gently on the ground not to damage it in case your plan doesn't work out, and then just lay beside it. Not gonna lie, he always got it. He played all of his cards correctly.
That doesn't even seem like an insurance scam.
Not being filmed.
That seems like an attention scam.
Here we have a rich one. Oh no, that was a cheeky move. Looks like you're overcompensating for something with that wing.
Thanks for resub, Fabe and Aurelian and Salad.
Here. Oh, how dare they? That was so unprofessional.
Oh god.
Guys, where is the police brutality when you actually need it, you know? Whoa!
I've seen this one. That one I've seen. Yeah.
So, go back over there, sit down, and
I know that one.
life choices.
That one's old. This one's old as shit.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, hello.
What the fuck? What a technique. Wait, what the fuck? That actually probably, like, broke his whole ass bone. He, like, actually went for, like, a full-blown drop kick. I haven't seen that one. That's kind of hype. He got kind of high, too, off that.
Here. Oh, hello.
Like, that's not a bad vertical leap at all. Good shit. Yeah, I got the double leg drop kick. Do these type of scams actually work? I have to imagine at like a very small level, like 1 or 2 times it'll work. But 9 times out of 10, no. This is the Prime Chester. That's why you want a dash cam? Yeah. Dash cams are super important, but even if you don't have a dash cam, there's just cameras everywhere now. So, like, you'll have a camera at pretty much every intersection, or pretty much everywhere in general. Even, like, nearby buildings will have cameras that you can just use during one of these cases. There's a Prime Chris. So, it probably doesn't work often. How do you get the footage? Well, since it becomes an insurance issue, your insurance probably subpoenas the businesses for the footage. You won't get the footage? I mean, what do you mean? This right here is clearly not from this guy's dash cam. Like, there's plenty of examples. Like, nearby locations, like, since it's an insurance thing, they probably aren't going to just let it go. Thanks to 5 gift subs, Lethargic. Appreciate it, Lethargic. And the resub Valo and Dame.
Alright, that was pretty funny, but we have to move on. There's some brake checking going on here. And that is why you always have to have a dash cam, just in case you come across some of these dingleberries doing these stupid stunts. But anyways, let's see how this one will end. Come on now.
I prefer the, like, on-foot ones better.
Is always the answer. Wise words, Jeremy Clarkson. Wise words. Whoa. Whee! Whee!
Oh, fuck! Oh, God!
This guy is a train wreck.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this guy's like a zombie.
Unfortunately so. Yeah, not too proud of this guy. Not
Cool haircut, though. God damn. What is that? It's like a chocolate smudge.
Yeah, not too proud of this guy. Not too proud.
On bath salts? Probably. He's on that K2.
Alright, let's see what's going on here.
Is there sub or there gives sub twin?
Whoa, 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 whoa! Break, break, break! Don't let him win! Don't let him win. Yes! Take the L and do a walk of shame. And why are you running? Why are you running? Oh, come on, dude.
He's a prime.
On
Sabri.
next one we go. Oh! Looks like we have another break checker on.
But yeah, it's very common. Insurance fraud is a very common scam attempt. It just isn't effective usually, ever. There has to be someone that has tried to master this. I don't think so. I imagine you only ever try it once. Like when the desperation is overwhelming, you try it once. And I imagine you probably get like seriously injured going for it. Like in the cases where it actually isn't caught on dash cam is what I'm talking about. And then you still lose in the end. Thanks to the resub. Dickley, LD, Machina, Strudio, Arrow, Grilled Cheese, and Chaka. They're serial insurance scammers? Like famous ones? Thanks to resub. Starzy and Fred. Do you think people have died trying to do a scam like this? Oh, absolutely. Thanks to the Prime Sedan and the resub Froggy. The print inside of the moist track jacket is insane, isn't it? It's so fucking cool. That tracksuit is unreal. That is the best piece of merch ever. I love that shit. Hashtag ad. Hey, it was an alley-oop. That was just a man happy with the moist esports tracksuit. Thanks to the bits, Tori. I've never seen that one. Goddamn, Tori. Thanks to the resub. Blanos and Mad. And Irony. Pretty common scam to reverse into someone because rear driver is always at fault unless there is footage it's impossible to prove. Yeah, brake checking. Well, I guess driving in reverse is like the upgraded level of brake checking, but yeah. Thanks to resub Megap. I just have to wonder if it's ever really worth it. Like, I just can't imagine as the insurance scammer you get much out of it. Because you still have to pay fees as well. Like, just to, like, make the fight against the insurance. Like, I just can't imagine you get more than, like, pocket change from one of those cases. Thanks to the resub, Spencer. Easier than a job, though? Not really. It's a one-time payment that you have to fight for months. When I got into an accident back in like 2012, and that lady sued me, it was a low-speed accident, and the lady sued faking an injury. She had to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars going to a corrupt doctor multiple times in order to sign off on, like, here's her injury. And then by the end of it, like, the case wrapped up as like a $10,000 settlement or something. And she probably spent more than that just getting all the paperwork together and then visiting the doctor so many times. Like, you just, I mean, my insurance rate went up, so if it was a fuck you to me, she succeeded there, but like, she didn't profit, like, at all. He's a tier 1 May in the resub Papaya and Spencer. How do you know she faked it? Well, it was a very low speed accident, like at like a stop, and I talked to her for like 2 hours, and she was joking around. She even called her boyfriend up to come over to hang out. Like, she was totally fine. That she had no injuries whatsoever, and then she even did the classic like neck brace thing. He's a tier 1 Shilder in the resub Kamikaze and Apache. Talking about a video? No, this was back in 2012 for me when I was a freshman in college. Thanks, resub Milkman. Jesus, formidable. Thanks, resub Joestar. Maybe it was an emotional injury. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. That was stressful as shit, though. He's a tier 1 Hikaru. What was the thought process behind any of that? Bro, have you never heard of ambulance chasers? Uh, Man, am I just that old? Ambulance chasers are like a thing. Just going for a paycheck off of fake injuries and shit? He's a prime Dow. And the resub bins a lot. It just sounds so dumb. It is so dumb. Again, I just can't imagine you get anything out of it. You usually spend more chasing it than you do when you get a payment or a settlement. Just doesn't make any sense. Aren't ambulance chasers the lawyers who go after those cases? Yeah, but the whole thing is called ambulance chasing. So the people that fake it and the lawyers that pursue it. Thanks, resub Frozen. Not true. You don't spend anything. The doctors and lawyers are usually in on it and split it 3 ways. I don't know all the details of that, but using my case for an example, let's say they did split that 10K 3 ways. She did still have to fight my insurance, or like herself, like not even like the lawyer. So she did still have to spend in resources in order to even battle. And if it was getting split 3 ways, that's even less than she gets trickled down. I think it's a tier 1 terror. It's a certain type of lawyer and do it for free until you win. sometimes. Interesting. A friend of mine had a corrupt doctor. He didn't even have to go to PT. He signed off on it and got a free $3K from doing something similar. I don't doubt like all that's like accurate. The doctor she went to apparently was known to the insurance company as like a quack who does this shit regularly. But again, I still have to imagine the person doing this has to pay the doctor to sign off on it. It blows my mind that people would lie about stuff like that, though. Man. Yeah, I remember when I used to think things like that. So pure. Thanks to the Prime, Piash. Thanks to Prime window. Thanks to Prime Shane. You broke both your legs falling off your school fence. Should use this as an opportunity. Like how long ago? A decade ago? Yeah, I mean, it's never too late. Okay, Matt said that they're in the raid channel. Alright, looks like we're going to be doing some raids tonight. Can your new PC run Forspoken on Ultra? Yo. Few things can. I guess we'll see. Thanks to the Prime Cookie. While I crashed and I was waiting for the computer to fire back up, I finally saw what people were talking about with Brian Walsh, I think his name is. He's standing trial for the murder of, was it his wife? Yeah, prosecutors allege the Massachusetts man dismembered his wife, Anna, after using their son's iPad to search for the best ways to get rid of the body. So I didn't know who this was. Chat just kept spamming his name like he was some kind of like fucking celebrity or voice crack celebrity or something. I thought it was like a gamer. But it's a fucking murderer. So right now he's on trial for this. And I don't know anything about the case, but there's this clip right now from the trial of them going over his search history. And this man's guilty as fuck. Unless a burglar broke in and searched these things for him, he is dead to rights. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Oh, here it is, here it is.
First, at 4:55 a.m. on January 1st, he searched how long before a body starts to smell. At 4:50,
It could have been anyone. Anyone looks that
how to
up.
stop a body from decomposing.
That's just good
At
knowledge to
5:20
have,
a.m.,
just in
he
case.
searched how to embalm a body.
I mean,
5:47 a.m.
oh, there's,
10
it's
ways to dispose
getting tough to
of
rationalize.
a dead body if you really need to. At 6:25 a.m. on the 1st,
Jesus Christ.
how long for someone to be missing to inherit. At 6:34
This dude's so
a.m. on the 1st,
fucking guilty.
can you throw away body parts? At 9:29 a.m., what does formaldehyde do? At 9:34 a.m. on the 1st, how long does DNA last? At 9:59
Jesus
a.m.,
Christ.
can identification be made on partial remains? At 11:34 a.m., dismemberment and the best ways to dispose of a body. At 11:44, how to clean blood
Fucking Saul Goodman
At
couldn't get him out of this
11:56
one.
On the 1st, luminol to detect blood. At 1:08, what happens when you put body parts in ammonia? At 1:21 p.m., is offender to throw crime scene clothes away?
This literally
or wash
could be
them?
his son. What? What do you mean? Xer said purple, diamond, and sly. I don't know anything about the case, but was there someone else that would have looked this up on his computer? It was his son's iPad. How old's his son? Let me see. His son is under 6. Alright, let's not rule it out, though. The 6-year-old recently did just shoot a teacher. I don't see any information about his son. But I'm assuming if he's using his son's iPad, that tells me that this was a parent that just sat their kids in front of an iPad and let it raise them. So this is probably a, like, actual toddler. Okay, how about this? I'll just be more specific. Still not giving me any info on his kids. It doesn't say anything about how old they are. Oh, here we go. The ages of his children are 2, 4, and 6. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it probably wasn't any of them using words such as, what does a body do in ammonia? Or what does formaldehyde do? Thanks the resub, Manny. I think this guy's guilty as fuck. Was he expecting to find BuzzFeed articles? What was his plan? I don't know. Does this look like a guy? Does this look like a guy that has a plan? Look at him. Fucking goofy, silly looking dude. He just looks creepy. But it actually does sound like he's looking for WikiHow articles on, like, murder and how to hide a body. 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. Number 3 will shock you. What if you don't need to? Well, yeah, what if there's a lot of things at play here. Maybe it's not urgent, like 10 ways to dispose of a dead body, but I'm not in a rush. 10 ways to dispose of a dead body, but it's only semi-urgent. 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if I'm on a tight time schedule. Like, you're going to get different results. It's going to be all kinds of different ways, so he needed to be specific. What caused him to commit murder? I don't know shit about the case, but just from like the little bit I've read like already, he searched on December 27th for the best state for a man to divorce. And then some of his other questions like listed in here, how long for someone to be missing to inherit? So I'm guessing the plan was, instead of divorcing and potentially losing some of my assets in the divorce, I'll kill them and then also inherit some money from them, I think was the thought process. Did he not know how to delete history? Even if he deleted search history, you can still recover that shit. It's not like it's gone forever. You can subpoena that information, I'm pretty sure. You have to double delete it. 10 ways to triple delete my search history. And I do need it badly. He didn't empty recycle bin. Yeah, I guess not. But yeah, I think there's a 0% shot this guy is not guilty. Is he pleading not guilty? Even all of the evidence outside of his search history seemed dead to rights. They got him on video. Walsh is seen on surveillance on January 3rd walking to a dumpster in Abington, a town about 15 miles southwest of, I guess, where this is, carrying and discarding items that appear to be heavy. He then went to an apartment complex in Abington and another in Brockton, about 4 miles west of Abington, and threw more things away. On January 4th, the day Anna Walsh's employer reported her missing and police interviewed Brian Walsh at his home, he went to Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Lowe's, and bought towels, bath mats, men's clothing, squeegees, and a trash can. Authorities later searched the dumpster contents after they were moved to a waste transfer station in Peabody, about 5 miles north, and discovered 10 trash bags containing bloodstains, towels, tape, slippers, a Tyvek suit, rugs, gloves, cleaning agents, carpets, a COVID vaccination card for Anna Walsh, hacksaw, cutting shears, hatchet, clothing, Prada purse that Brian Walsh had told investigators his wife was last seen with. This is the guiltiest man of all time. You know what he probably found, though, with all of these outrageous searches? He probably ended up on a 4chan thread that gave him the worst advice ever just to get caught easier. Unironically, that is probably exactly what happened, which is how he cooked up this strategy. Do you think he'll get a Netflix show? Christ. Maybe, probably. With the success of the Jeffrey Dahmer one, they'll probably just start doing it for every killer ever. Innocent until proven guilty. Yep. Yeah, right now I'm thinking this guy's pretty innocent. Joel Guy Jr. dismembered his parents and searched how to. Is that another case? I don't know. Joel Guy Jr. Oh, that is. The murders of Joel and Lisa Guy. How often does this fucking happen? Holy shit. This was in 2016. This isn't even long ago. The prosecution at his trial dubbed the handwritten journal found in Guy Jr.'s backpack the Book of Premeditation, as it contained detailed notes outlining his intent to murder and destroy the remains of his parents. Holy shit. This isn't silly at all. This is fucking terrifying. What the fuck? Thanks to tier 1 sturdy. What caused this? Oh, he killed them because he wanted their money. What the fuck? You know, it's never... It's crazy how oftentimes someone that commits some absolutely heinous shit like these two actually just looks the part. You know, this is not one of those cases of, man, it's always who you least expect. It is actually shocking how often they look exactly what you imagine a fucking psychopath would look like. Voice crack. The mentality can have effects on the body. I don't know though, man. What? So because he cooked up this disgusting plan, it transmogrified him into this? I don't think so, man. He tried to boil his mom's head. Yeah, no, it's actually so fucking heinous. And he wrote all of it, like he wrote his whole plan down. It's crazy. Trial took 4 days and was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. These are people that were probably brutally bullied in school for appearances. There is a slight correlation. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. There's a correlation between like childhood bullying and growing up to be like a actual fucking psycho. But I don't think there's a correlation between being bullied and then cooking up a plan to steal money from your parents by killing them. Those don't seem to track down the same path. Those seem very far removed from each other. Though I guess you could make the argument that the bullying would lead to like psychological damage, which could eventually lead you to something like that. Maybe then. Christ. This guy is a jerk. I mean, you said it. This guy is a jerk. Fuck, god damn. There's that chapter on YouTube covers this case as well. Interesting, I don't know that channel. At least I don't know it off the top of my head. Maybe I'd know some of their work. You ever read about how some psychopath serial killers have a genetic condition since they're born? I took a criminology course in college for a semester, and we studied a couple. So, like Richard Kuklinski, stuff like that. And I don't remember who the psychologist was. Dr. Park Dietz, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, there is something in some of them that is a genetic predisposition to be a psychopath. So that is true. Not tonight, Crown. What about those that... What about how some kill little animals when they're young? That's the number one indicator that someone's going to grow up to be a fucking serial killer. Like, unironically. I'm pretty sure like 90% of all serial killers started on animals when they were young. I killed ants. Well, that's not exactly the same thing now, is it? We're talking about someone that, like, abuses the childhood pet, kills the pet, shit like that. Yeah, just goes out and kills strays. One of them did birds, like birds that they would go out, catch and kill. Correlation, not causation, it's a sign. Well, yeah, I would never make the argument that it's causation or anything. It is a very well documented correlation with tons and tons of evidence backing it as one of the earliest signs of, like, this is a troubled youth that is very likely to do this same thing to human beings growing up, or when they get older. It's like the biggest red flag. Not the biggest. I actually think I could be going. I'm going on memory. I could be wrong. I think it is the biggest indicator. I'm pretty sure. I don't. Well, aside from, like, actually killing someone, obviously, but, like, the torturing of animals when they're young is, I'm pretty sure, one of the biggest indicators across all serial killers. And not even serial killers either. Just, like, actual killers. Like, maybe they killed one person or two people. Like, anyone that's done, like, a fucked up thing to another human being, a lot of them started on animals when they were young. We talked about it in my criminology course a long time ago now. I don't remember all of the details. But I think Richard Kuklinski, he started on, like... Well, his dad was abusive. I think it was his dad. It was either his dad or his mom was extremely abusive. That abuse translated to Richard Kuklinski taking, like, dogs onto a roof and skinning them. Dogs and cats, I think. And then that ended up with him becoming the Iceman later on. And then he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, which apparently is extremely common for people that are, like, actually commit murder. What else was it? I don't remember what else now. He's the prime true fire. What about the serial killer who dressed as a clown? I don't know much about that guy. Any update on the TikTok girl accusing the professor of murder? Talking about Ashley? No. I haven't checked in the last 2 days. You don't know much about John Wayne Gacy? Mm-mm. I obviously know, like, the name. I know, like, the reputation. I just don't know too much about him specifically. Yeah, this is... I'm assuming you're talking about this, the guy that just talked about the lawyer. The Parkland school shooter is on trial now. I'm sure most of you know that. But it doesn't seem like many people realize just how absolutely insane his defense team is. So for pretty much this whole trial... Well, I actually can't say the whole trial because I've only seen the clips. For a while now, they've been making absolute fools of themselves, but it boiled over yesterday with a public display of one of the lawyers giving the finger to the entire court and laughing with the school shooter. And then one of the, you know what, actually, I'll just play it. I don't even know why I'm giving the full context. I'll just show you.
Judge, I'm standing here and I see that Jeff Marcus jumped up really quickly. But no one jumped up when people were referring to karma acting in the universe. No one was jumping up when they were referring to the defense children. No one jumped up to try to tap down that rhetoric. That is the rhetoric that I am talking about. That is what I'm trying to be very clear on. Jeff Marcus, the state, they can hide behind their arguments, but we all are witnessing what is occurring in this courtroom.
Which is myself. I'm a judge,
And
and
I
understand that I'm in
thank you,
charge
Judge.
of the decorum, and I feel that 99% or a great percentage of what has been said has been appropriate. Everybody has maintained decorum, but
So, what they're referring to, since I don't know if this clip is going to include it, apparently at some point, one of the defense lawyers' family was brought up. I don't really know the context of it, but apparently there was an offhand mention of one of the lawyer's kids or something, and now they've completely steered away from, like, the actual core discussion in order to address that. Like, this is so disrespectful, I'm a fucking lawyer, how dare you bring up my kids, this is outrageous. And now they're making, like, this public complaint to the judge, and the judge is like, I don't know what you're talking about. From everything I've seen here, it's maintained a very professional decorum, nothing, you know, fishy or weird or low blows or anything. And then it starts to go off the rails.
for a few comments, it's best to just move on as opposed to highlight them.
This is true, Judge, but I am witnessing a building of momentum, and I'm encouraging the court to direct the state to tap down on that momentum so it does not reoccur and it does not become a theme. Thank you, Judge.
They're becoming too powerful, insulting the
The only
kids.
thing the state has said to any of these witnesses when they get up is, would they like to say something on behalf of the victim they're representing? There's been no encouraging or inciting, as Mr. Weeks has put on this record. That is a blatant falsehood and a recreation of the record. As far as no objections being made, it's the defense that could have objected. It's not the state's duty to object to their own witnesses when they're testifying.
These are the bits,
Okay.
Jimmy and the prime shorty.
Listen, I've already heard. If you have anything else to say, you can put it in writing at a later time. I've heard from both sides more than once. That's gonna be it. I've made my decision. Like
Also,
I
this
said,
judge is
100%
fucking awesome, by the
of
way.
what's been testified to has been appropriate. I do not want to highlight the few things that were said that were perhaps not appropriate, and let's move on.
Judge, I'm asking for 20 seconds next.
You can have as many seconds as you want in writing, and you can put all of your objections in writing. They've been made multiple times.
She
from
speaks
the
to them
chief
like
assistant,
children, like actual
from
kids.
Ms. McNeil, and I don't want to hear anything else. I've already heard it. Is there something that has not already been argued?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, exactly what is it?
Judge, before Mr. Shacker took the podium and testified before this court, I wanted to, the record should reflect that both Mr. Marcus and Mr. Satz looked at the statement prior to the reading. And so their implicit adoption of what he was saying, this improper arguments, this improper discourse, and the court should.
Okay, but what you are doing right
So, this guy is a giant big baby man. So, I think the strategy was to get on a tangent to buy time or something. So he starts whining like, "Ooh, wah, 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 they were being mean, wah, 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 wah." And the judge has already heard it like 1,000 times by now, so that's why she's like very, like, shutting it down. Yeah, I guess kind of filibustering, I suppose, but like really pathetically. So he just keeps bringing up the way they spoke about this was very inappropriate. It was ill-mannered. They were not brought up properly, very inhospitable. And then eventually one of them, they reflect, and one of the lawyers from this team defending the Parkland school shooter just gave the whole court the finger. I think it's in this clip. I haven't actually watched this clip, but it's from this segment that I was watching.
now is
So I imagine it's here.
highlighting something and making more of a spectacle. So if your office in general does not want to facilitate and or incite violence, then we need to just sit down and move on. That's it. There were 18 witnesses, 16 or 18 witnesses.
Like, it
that
feels like a
testified
teacher
today.
calling out the
There was
class
nothing
clown
that
in
was
front of
said
everyone.
until Ms. McNeil made her point made, and, you know, we're moving on.
But is the court going to do anything about maybe stopping it from happening again?
When these people are upset about specific things that have gone on from that table, like shooting the
Yeah,
middle
there it is.
finger up at this court and laughing and joking, Miss McNeil, be quiet.
Isn't that fucking wild? This is a school shooter, and this is part of his legal team, and they're just giggling with him, giving everyone the finger. Isn't that wild? I couldn't believe that shit. And I was reading, apparently, like, this judge showed tremendous restraint not holding this team in contempt because they made a mockery out of the court. And I think the reason, at least based on what I read, I'm no expert, but the reason for her not holding them in contempt is because that prolongs this trial even longer. So she wanted to, like, make sure the sentencing gets passed smoothly, I believe. Because that is crazy, actually.
Be quiet. When these people have sat in this courtroom and watched this behavior from that table, and they want to say that they're not happy about it, what is the problem?
Judge, I have no problem because I have thick skin. But once you bring in my children, I think that's highly improper. It's being
I didn't even know you have children. I don't know what you're talking about. Your children? What about your children?
But that's a comment.
I also don't even think he has children, for what it's worth.
To allow that kind of testimony
Okay.
is also
So I got real parasocial with this. I don't know this guy. I didn't really, like, look into him too much, but he doesn't have a wedding ring on, and I feel like he's just making shit up. Because he just keeps finding new things to whine about and, like, pulling things out of thin air to whine about. And then he eventually just gets disciplined like a misbehaving youth.
allow that kind of testimony
Okay.
is also
There was, I don't remember any comments about any children. And if there was, it obviously didn't, it came and went without me noticing it.
Judge, I can assure you that if they were talking about your children, you would definitely notice it.
You need to sit down right now. You're out of line. In fact, you're excused. You need to go sit in the back with your
And put on the dunce cap.
chief public defender.
Put on the stupid hat.
Mr. Weeks, please ask the lawyer from your office to go sit down and not say anything else. To try to threaten my children and bring up my children is inappropriate. Go to the back of the room now. That just violated about every rule of professional responsibility that I have never. If you're going to get up here and you're going to,
Judge, I asked you to go sidebar on this matter.
you sidebar or not, you don't have one of your assistant public defenders say something about my children?
Judge, that same
It's an absolute
venom
clown
that the
show.
court is expressing is the same venom that defense counsel had to sit through this entire morning when
She-
their
What do you mean? Like, so the venom he's talking about is in reference to when the lawyer for the school shooter gave the finger and started laughing. I believe they got reprimanded for that behavior. So that's I think, I could be wrong, I believe that's the venom he's referring to. It's not like they were just, like, innocently defending someone, doing their due diligence in court. They were actively making a joke out of it. I am so glad a lot of these court cases are being, like, publicized now. Because a lot of this is absolute lunacy that I had no idea actually went on in these high-profile cases. It's crazy. I had no clue. Did this all happen today? No, it was yesterday. Thanks to Prime. Felix Fletch and the resub Rico, Reaper, Doinks, Monk, Pancake, and the tier 1 Old Greet.
Brought up her children
being
multiple
referenced.
times during the trial. Nobody knows if I'm barren or not. They don't know
Judge,
about my children.
Judge.
Sit down. Sit down.
Judge,
Sit down, Mr. Weeks.
please do not summarily dismiss me.
I'm summarily
I'm
dismissing
asking
you.
the
Go
court.
sit down.
I'm asking the court. I asked the court to go sidebar.
Go sit down. You don't threaten the
Judge,
court's children.
everyone
Your
in this
assistant just
courtroom-
did that. Go sit down.
No one in this courtroom had to endure what we had to
Go
endure.
sit down. Miss McNeil has made her children a spectacle more than once during this trial. That was her choice. You have absolutely no right to have one of your assistants come up here and suggest something about my children. Now, please go sit down.
Judge.
You're
Judge,
inappropriate and out of line. Go sit down.
Judge, may we have a brief recess?
No. Go sit down.
May I have a brief recess?
Can I have some ice cream?
My attorneys.
We're moving on with the sentencing, Mr. Weeks.
So can I have a brief recess?
No.
Thank you.
It's 1:36. Thank you.
Hey, great work out there. You got her, champ. Nice work. Yeah, it is a wild trial, which is so crazy because how can you even like act this way when you're defending someone who is like there's no room for argument. This is the school shooter. Like they are defending the school shooter and somehow laughing about it, joking with him, and making a complete fool out of themselves. Like I don't get how this even happens. That's the job, though. The job is like they have a due diligence that they have to perform where they defend the defenseless, right? I get that. But why are they all laughing with them and flipping off the court? And then, like, talking about the judge's kids and like, oh, why are you guys being mean to us? We just gave you the finger. Why do we have to endure such venom? They probably don't want to be there because they have no chance of winning. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it still doesn't really excuse the actions. Like, you go there, go through the motions, do the bare minimum, and leave. Like, no one expects them to somehow get this kid out of jail or something. Yet they're in there, like, absolutely ruining their reputation. Like, shit, this guy, from what I've read, he could, like, legitimately be disbarred. This guy, big baby man. Isn't this Florida? Yeah, it's in Florida. Thanks to the Prime Chief and the resub Gooble Gobble and Dylan and the Prime Sanctum. If they don't disbar her for flipping the bird, I'll shit. Oh yeah, that was another thing. I mean, like, you can't really do that. Like, you can't just go into court as the goddamn lawyer and just give them all the finger. Like, not even Saul Goodman did that. And he was like the bad boy lawyer. It really isn't even subtle. Well, no, it's not subtle. They even start laughing about it, man.
And laughing and joking. Miss McNeil, be quiet.
It's just so weird. You would think that this is his mom. By the way, this is the piece of shit that pretended to be crazy in the interrogations. Yep. I know. I'm well aware. I may not have really kept up with the trial apart from these wacky clips, but I do know about the kid. What did he do? This is the school shooter, the Parkland school shooter. Thanks to resub Lettuce and Rebel and Jack. He's not a kid, he's an adult. Well, yeah, no, I say kid just because he's young. Like, he's obviously an absolute monster. I'm not, like, excusing anything he did by calling him a kid. I think he's, like, 19. Thanks resub Style and Custer. And the resub Luda. Didn't he plead guilty too? I don't remember actually. He may have. I'm not positive. He did? Thanks to the resub. Berm T and the bits silver. He was sentenced to life in prison today. Oh, they gave him life instead of the death penalty. He's a prime has been. $34 consecutive life sentences. They give people death penalty still. Depends on the state. But yeah, I think they were pushing for death penalty, if I remember correctly. I didn't know the sentencing was complete, so apparently today sentenced to 34 consecutive life sentences with no parole.